everyone! Today is Friday, and I've got my friend Wednesday here with me, and we are going to talk about peace. Today's question is, how do you seek peace? And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Now, when we're talking about peace, we're not really talking about peace versus war.
No, we're not talking about that.
We're not even talking about being peacemakers.
No, we're talking about internal peace.
Sometimes it feels like there's something that is not completely resolved in your life or in my life. And the question that we have is, when you feel that unresolvedness, how do you find resolution?
Is it important always to get to the bottom of it and find a resolution and find an answer and be like, okay, I know this is solved now? Or sometimes you have to kind of keep holding on and trusting God and saying, all right, well, you can just go one more day as long as it's with you. So for me, when I feel like things are unresolved in my life, I usually run to one of two options. Either I try to fill my life up by seeing people and just so I don't have to think about my problems and so there's no time, or I avoid my problems by saying I just can't solve them and I cry about them. And neither of them really help.
What I usually do is I'm like, I don't want to seek peace anywhere else besides God, so I try to seek God.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's possible to seek God and to not find what you're expecting. I think there are some types of things, sometimes like you'll seek God and He'll answer you, and other times you'll not get an answer, and the answer has to be continue trusting me. So like stop looking at your own sadness or your own problems and listen to God. Just like gaze at His beauty.
But I think what makes it more confusing is because sometimes the answer is not going to be, here's the answer, or wait on me. It's going to be God saying, I'm going to speak my truth to you through somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so what's really hard for me is knowing when I should go seek somebody else out and talk about whatever's going on with me with people, or it just needs to be me waiting on God or seeking Him better or harder or more frequently.
I'm also in the kind of place of feeling like God will often show Himself to me through other people.
Yeah, seriously.
So, like, I need to ask other people to pray with me, or I think it's a kind of prideful, selfish thing to be like, all right, God, you just need to solve my problems for me. I feel like going to people is sometimes the right thing to do. And it's actually, I think it's harder sometimes because you're like, you actually have to tell them how bad your life is.
It's harder all the time for me. So when we're asking the question, how do you seek peace? I'm not going to say there's only 3 answers, but I think there's probably 3 main answers that center all around one main point of trusting in God. And the answer would either be seek God until you find out the answer, keep trusting Him if you don't find the answer, or listen to Him when He tells you to research or talk to people or read some book so you can learn things.
Right. A lot of times the questions that we have need to be answered by truth.
Yeah.
And truth can come through the work of the Holy Spirit directly in us, but it also can come through other people speaking to us.
Exactly.
And even life experience.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So the answer is like truth.
Yeah. You kind of made that kind of answer.
Yeah, well, hey. That's why I'm making my video with you, right?
Yeah.
Related to this is, how do you trust God in times when you feel like things aren't quite resolved? And how do you deal with that? Which, if you watch my silence video, it's kind of related to that. And I think something that's really important is that you continue to pray and actually ask God for resolution. Because if you just hope that it'll come someday and someday everything will be better, that's not really trusting God. That's not really hoping. That's just...
It's giving up.
I guess it is. It's not even being optimistic.
Okay, you know how like sometimes God asks you to let go of things?
Yeah.
I had this idea, like, letting go and giving up are kind of the same thing, but they're not. Like, letting go can sometimes be used synonymously, so it's like, God is saying, you need to give up this desire, you need to give up this thing. But once you give it up, you can't be like, okay, I give up. I have basically decided in my mind that God does not really want to provide for this need, so I'm not going to ask.
Yeah. So when you surrender something to God, it's not because He's like, you can't have this. It's like, I've got something better for you.
Yeah. So you still have to keep on asking Him and hope that He gives you the right desire. Because that's where desires come from. God.
Yeah. Ultimately, all we desire is Him. We just get distracted and forget that.
It's like the constellation of philosophy.
You would know that.
Yeah.
That's all for now, for real.
Yeah.
Bye. Happy weekend.
Oh!
What? What?
We need to say happy birthday to Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Thursday's birthday. You all should know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's today?
Yeah, it is today.
Today, right now. Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should we actually sing happy birthday?
No, we shouldn't sing happy birthday to him. But he has all of our birthday wishes.
Yes. Have an awesome birthday. A very
wonderful.
Yes.
And happy one. And not a belated one, because we're posting this on time. Okay.
This is so uncharacteristic of you.
Hey, shh. Don't talk about all my penalties.
Okay, I won't.
Alright, bye for real now.
On a side note, we would like to point out to you that we are once again wearing our favorite colors.
Yes,
well, not necessarily.
I'm wearing my black shirt.
And I'm wearing white.